Well, researchers have now designed earbuds that do a lot more than just play music. Here's some that you're looking at right now. They are capable of recording brain activity and exercise levels. And the hope here is that they could be used to monitor health and even warn of neurodegenerative conditions. So joining us with more, with his earbuds in, is CTV Science and Technology Specialist Dan Riskin. Dad, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are they able to record both, I get maybe exercise activity, but how do they record brain activity?
Yeah, and it's not measuring exercise activity the way you might expect. And this is a sort of proof of concept that's gone out from the University of California, San Diego. And so this isn't something you can buy yet, but they're trying to show that we haven't done everything we can with the things we stick in our ears in terms of monitoring our activity level. When you have earbuds in, you are right next to the brain. And so there's an opportunity there to measure brain activity, the electrical activity happening in the brain, just like your watch measures your pulse and measures what's happening with your heart. This would give an opportunity to see what's happening in the brain. And they also paired in another sensor, which would measure the sweat coming out of your ear to see how much lactate there is in there, to see what your exercise levels are like. So when you do exercise and you're burning through your oxygen and it's starting to hurt a little bit, the lactate gets produced, some of that comes out in your sweat, and your earbuds could be telling you about that and monitoring that and giving data to you or to whomever about what's going on for you in terms of your physiology.
Waxy, sweaty ear canals. That's gross. How is that data then used to monitor everything from, muscle fatigue from exercising to a neurodegenerative condition?
Yeah, I mean, the real kicker here is the EEG, the idea that you can be basically scanning a person's brain while they're getting their exercise. And so for people that have neurodegenerative issues or are at risk for those kinds of things, this is a way to be getting data from the brain without bringing them into a lab and having them put on a special headset with little suction cups on their head and all this stuff. This is basically, if they're wearing these things anyway to make phone calls or to talk on your morning like I am, it's a way to record those data very easily with existing hardware. And that's one of the big trends here, is trying to find a way to make this seamless so that getting good medical data, it isn't a matter of going into the hospital, waiting for 5 hours, and then going into some lab and having them use some big piece of equipment, but to use the kinds of stuff that we have all around us, our phones and our other devices. So right now they've got the sensors built. They found a way for the sensors to collect the data. They have not yet got the sensors sending the data wirelessly to a receiver, because there's a lot of crosstalk issues, because obviously the earbuds are also sending sound and doing Wi-Fi and all these other things and Bluetooth, and so there's a lot of talk about how to get the data off of there. So right now what you see in those videos is little wires coming out of it, but it's a proof of concept and the sensors do work, and so there may be a direction going that way.
So the researchers believe then that the use of earbuds in general translates into untapped abilities to monitor health signals in, as you described, a non-intrusive way. We're wearing them anyway. How could we see these devices evolve perhaps in the coming years?
Well, I think this is really where the creativity comes in, and the way science and science fiction meet together. I mean, watches, right? I mean, we all wore watches for so long, and the watch just sat there and told us what time it was. All that lost opportunity. And now a watch can do so much more than that. It counts your steps. It checks your heart rate. It lets you know if you have atrial fibrillation. There's all the kinds of things that your watch can do that it never did before. The earbuds are closer to your brain, and there's so much information just sitting there waiting to be tapped into. And so what this is really just a matter of really creative engineers saying, hey, we've got some opportunities to think outside the box. And this is, that creativity, I think, is what's most exciting about this, is for people to just say, what have we not thought of yet? And that's where someone who's got a great arts background or a different background that maybe isn't an engineer that's always working on how to send signals through wires or something like that might be able to come up with the next great idea. And that's what I think is most exciting about this.
Dan, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.